Ever wondered how vegans manage to get their protein without a single bite of meat? I did too. So I went to the largest vegan festival on the planet to do some research. Have you found it difficult to get protein on a vegan diet? Are there any meals that you missed from before you were vegan? What's your biggest regret of going vegan? And what I discovered might just change your perspective on plant-based diets. So how long have you been vegan?
8 years.
What was the hardest part about going vegan?
It's not an issue for me. It's not restrictive like people think it is, you know? It actually just opened my world up to foods that I didn't even try before.
How long y'all been vegan for?
About 7 years now.
Yeah, 7 years.
What was the hardest part about going vegan?
I was very much into cheese, so I didn't know really what replacements for cheese was.
Cheese, I love cheese. And I think 8 years ago, vegan cheese was just not great. One of the best things I've learned from that is learning to cook with things that don't involve vegan cheese. So using like silken tofu in a pasta sauce to give it that really creamy texture.
Initially when I went vegan, I would eat a lot of meat substitutes just to substitute the meat. Now I eat almost no meat substitutes, normally just tofu. So I think it was that sort of transition from like meat to meat substitutes to tofu. And now I've sort of realized that like there's so much variety in plant-based foods, it makes it so much easier. You don't actually need the meat substitutes at all.
What if people are watching and they haven't had tofu, or they don't like tofu, or they say they don't like tofu? What would you say to them?
I get it, because I think at first, like tofu, it's bland, it doesn't really taste of anything, but it's how you cook it. If you had like tofu in one way versus another way, you would think it was completely different things. Like it's so versatile, and it's just a protein vessel to make into like really yummy food.
What was the hardest part about going vegan for you?
Not a damn thing. As a bodybuilder, I was so sick of eating tuna and 6 chicken breasts a day, 36 pints of milk a week, I think, and I didn't enjoy the stuff at all. And then I saw that the more animal products we eat, the quicker we tend to kill ourselves, and you can be healthier, and you can still be big and ripped and whatever you want.
For so long I followed recipes that had egg or dairy or meat or other animal-based products in them, and I just found like switching them out to be particularly difficult.
What was the hardest part about going vegan?
I think it was harder socially back 12 years ago because there weren't as many vegans and I feel a bit lonely, but right now I feel like there are a lot of communities.
Did you go vegan overnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we did. I watched a video and that was it. Just something switched in my brain and thought, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
I went vegan overnight, yes.
Do you find yourself missing any animal products?
I mean, the smell of a bacon sandwich cooking still like gets me. I'm like, oh, it smells good. But it's just the smell.
So what do you do when that happens to you?
I acknowledge it smells good, and that's it.
Anything with eggs really, scrambled eggs, egg soldiers, fried eggs, omelettes. There are obviously options to have, but to be honest I just don't think they're the same really. Eggs is probably the one thing you cannot replicate on a plant-based diet.
So funnily enough, someone overheard us talking and they let us in on a vegan hack to get things to taste like eggs. If you use black salt, otherwise known as kala namak, you can capture that familiar egg flavor. And I can confirm, it really does nail the taste.
That's eggy. Whoa. That's like cholesterol, I remember.
Are there any meals that you missed from before you were vegan?
Baked camembert. But I mean, actually here, yesterday I had chips with like half a baked camembert on top, and it was good considering like how far vegan cheese has come in recent years. But yeah, I do miss a proper camembert.
Sushi for me, which again, there's Studio Gautier in London who does great vegan sushi. So yeah, really good substitutes all around.
Is there anything that you really missed from before you were vegan?
Friends. I'm only joking. There's nothing I miss at all. Like in terms of social connections and stuff like that, you don't really need it, to eat animal products just to have like friends and socialize and anything like that. So there's nothing I miss.
What about like meat? Do you ever miss meat?
Never. Anytime I ever get any old school sensations, it automatically associates with everything I saw on animal slaughter footages.
Yeah.
So just, no, not at all.
Are there any meals that you missed from before you were vegan?
So my death row meal was hoisin duck wraps, like it's Chinese. But the thing is like literally, when you think about it, it's really only the taste of the hoisin sauce that I cared about, but I thought it was the duck.
Are there any meals that you missed from before you were vegan?
No, that's another thing. Like everything that they make with animal parts in it, we could make it vegan.
Yeah.
And it tastes better. My favorite like meat substitute, it's still meat, it's mushrooms. There's so many things you can do with mushrooms, and there's so many different kinds of mushrooms. This is something that I found out when I became vegan.
Yeah.
There's not just portobello mushrooms, there's like so many others. And they all have like their different textures and they absorb different flavors, and it's just like, I have a Jamaican background.
Okay.
So people always ask me like, do I miss like oxtail or jerk chicken? And it's like, you guys are realizing, like with jerk chicken, for example, that's the seasoning. You know, that's what makes it taste good.
So there's a lot of people out there who are interested in either going vegan or eating more plant-based, but they're feeling intimidated about it. Do you have any advice that you would give them?
Just be easy on yourself and just trying, maybe just reducing it once a week.
Just take the meals that you already currently enjoy now and then just find plant-based alternatives and plant-based recipes that imitate that. So if you like a regular bolognese, then you could go for maybe like a lentil and mushroom bolognese with, you know, spaghetti. I would say as well, make sure to eat a lot more food as well. Eat more food, you be satiated so that you don't succumb to cravings, especially whenever you're new.
Just get like your base meals down, and then like from there you can start to experiment and have more fun with it. But just research into like quick, easy, nutritious meals to do, high protein.
Change sort of happens incrementally, so don't sort of expect to, you know, suddenly go from one place to another in a day. Just take it slowly, take it easy.
Take it slowly. It's definitely not an overnight thing. I myself took about 5 years to get to where I am now. It was a gradual progression. I was pescatarian and then I went vegetarian, and one of the first non-meat animal products I cut out was just dairy, like milk. I started having oat milk and soy milk and almond milk, and I think what people need to realise is that there is no pressure to switch to vegan overnight. That's just not really how it works. Have no shame in just taking your time to try things, try new foods that you otherwise wouldn't normally have. Try to realise that it doesn't take a day to change. It might take a few years, but you'll probably get there eventually.
So just an advice to anyone new to veganism: try to cook meals that you already know, but try to make them vegan. A lot of Asian food has naturally vegan options. Curries, pad thai can be easily made vegan, and just experimenting is really fun. Just have fun in the kitchen, and that will make your transition exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of Caribbean food, Ethiopian food. Yeah. Nice. Mexican food as well can be vegan.
Totally. Love burritos.
Yeah, love the burritos.
This is my go-to meal.
Yeah, get your bean burritos. So a lot of people are interested in trying plant-based foods or becoming vegan, but they can feel intimidated. Do you have any advice for them?
Just try it. Like, people are scared to try a vegan diet because they've heard bad things about it. And it's like, just try going into a restaurant and having the vegan option. A lot of restaurants these days have a vegan option. If they would just go in and try it, don't be scared. Like, it's not gonna be like a sad little salad. Some places that do that.
Yeah, don't lie to them.
Yeah, but like honestly, like the good places, you're gonna find like a good vegan meal. And if you have someone, a vegan friend that you can ask and they can recommend you a spot, just try it and you'll be surprised. I do outreach, so when I talk to people about animals in captivity, they'll agree with me. When I talk about fashion, they'll agree with me. Testing on animals, they'll agree. And then once we get to the food, that's when they get really defensive because they feel like it's something they can't let go of. But you're not letting go of anything, because like I said, you could have anything you want vegan.
Was it hard for you to get protein on a vegan diet?
I'm an athlete, do gym. I don't do it professionally, I do it for fun, but I can get some good times. And the way I find my protein is through meal prep. I have lentils, I have tofu, I put it all into a nice little bowl, put it in my fridge, take it out when I need to, and how I cook meals on the side. Protein's very, very easy to get. Mushy peas, you can put that and make that into pea protein into a sauce, put it over pasta, over rice. There are plenty ways that you can get protein in a vegan diet.
Do y'all find it difficult to get enough protein?
As long as it's sort of like a conscious effort, which it is like on our part to get enough protein, it's actually not difficult to meet your protein requirements.
So do you think it's hard to get protein on a vegan diet, or do you think that's like a misconception?
It's a massive, massive misconception. I didn't find it hard at all to get protein. I thought it was super simple just to go for like, you know, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes.
Did you find it hard to get enough protein on a vegan diet?
No.
No, definitely not.
Not at all. Protein is in so many things, and if you just eat a varied diet, beans, lentils, and tofu, and alternative proteins, you'll be fine.
My favourite thing to do with silken tofu is like the pasta sauce, spinach, tahini, lemon juice, silken tofu, nutritional yeast, blend it together, creamy pasta sauce, and it's like so healthy, so high in protein, so yummy.
No, I mean the protein comes from the plants in the first place. The only reason it's in the animals because the animals ate the plant. A couple of years ago, a study out of Sao Paulo University, vegan versus non-vegan bodybuilders, best ever study of its kind, showed that as long as you're eating enough protein, optimal 1.6 grams per kilo lean body weight, there's no difference in the ability of vegans and non-vegans. The lead author went vegan off the back of it, because why would you kill yourself with animal products when you don't need to?
What's your biggest regret of going vegan?
No regrets at all.
I didn't become vegan sooner, to be honest.
But I didn't do it sooner.
I didn't do it sooner, I wish I found it sooner in my life.
I regret not doing it sooner.
Sounds cliche, but it's like not being vegan a lot sooner.
Not doing it soon enough. I think everyone says that.
Not doing it sooner.
No, never.
Do it earlier.
Yeah, pretty much.
That I didn't do it earlier.
That I didn't do it sooner.
So now, if you're inspired to eat more plant protein, check out this video where I go over 10 sources of plant protein that are even better than eggs and how to include them in your diet.